Urgent alert for all Dallas Cowboys fans. You do not want to miss this. Seriously, what just went down? This one is wild. But before we get into the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button because here we bring you daily Dallas Cowboys updates, insider takes, and everything you need to know to stay ahead of the game. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Hey Cowboys Nation! Today, we're diving deep into a story that's been sending shockwaves through the NFL. And if you live and breathe everything Dallas Cowboys, you're going to want to hear this. Think back to how the season has unfolded. Flashes of brilliance, a few setbacks, and a mountain of questions about what's next for this team. Now, a new rumor is stirring the pot. A scenario that could alter the trajectory of the Cowboys roster in a serious way. I'm talking about a potential trade involving none other than Max Crosby, the Las Vegas Raiders' relentless defensive end. Yes, the same Max Crosby who has been a nightmare for offenses this season, a cornerstone of that Raiders defense, and someone who, let's be honest, has been connected to Dallas for a while now. But let's cut through the chatter. Could this actually happen? And if it does, what would it mean for the Cowboys' prospects in 2025 and beyond? Strap in, because we're about to dissect every angle of this story. First, let's set the scene. The 2025 NFL trade deadline has just passed, and as expected, the Cowboys were in the middle of the buzz. Rumors were flying about potential moves. Who might stay? Who might go? And which teams were looking to shake things up for a playoff push? Among the names, Max Crosby stood out, not just for his on-field production, although that's impressive, but also for his contract situation and strategic fit in Dallas. Early reports hinted at strong Cowboys interest, particularly as the team has sought to shore up its pass rush and defensive front after inconsistent performances earlier in the year. As is often the case in the NFL, though, nothing was finalized. Crosby stayed in Vegas despite the heavy chatter. But here's where it gets really interesting. NFL insider Jay Glazer reported that Crosby was informed by the Raiders he would be shut down for the final 2 games of the season due to ongoing injuries. Imagine being a competitor like Crosby, battling through a season's grind, only to be sidelined in the crucial final stretch. That's a bitter pill to swallow. Crosby naturally disagreed with the decision. He's the kind of player who wants to finish strong, particularly with his contract status looming on the horizon. His frustration is real. And that frustration is now fueling fresh speculation about his future. Could this be the start of a significant change? Rumors are swirling again, suggesting Crosby might once more be floated as a potential trade candidate. And let's be clear, if you're the Cowboys, this is exactly the type of player you want to target. Crosby brings instant impact. His 10 sacks this season, even while not at 100%, underscore his talent. Over 7 seasons, he's tallied an eye-popping 69.5 sacks, proving himself as one of the league's elite edge rushers. But his impact isn't limited to sacking quarterbacks. Pro Football Focus grades his run defense at 78.7 in 2025, ranking him 5th among all defensive ends. Crosby is not just a pass rusher. He's a complete defensive force. And then there's the contract angle, which makes him even more intriguing. With only $15 million in dead money remaining, moving him wouldn't cripple a team financially. His 2026 guaranteed salary sits at $130 million. Daunting but manageable for a franchise like Dallas with cap space and championship aspirations. Team options totaling $128 million give the Raiders flexibility, creating a scenario where both sides could see benefits in a trade. Crosby wants to compete. The Raiders might want to reset or cut costs, and suddenly the stars align for a bold move. Of course, acquiring Crosby won't come cheap. Likely cost? One of the Cowboys' 2 2026 first-round picks, plus an early pick in 2027. That's a major investment, no question. But imagine the upside. Crosby opposite Micah Parsons could form a pass-rushing duo that nightmares are made of. The presence of a player like Crosby could relieve pressure on the secondary, tighten up run defense, and allow the Cowboys' front 7 to dominate in ways they've struggled to this season. On the field, Crosby's game is elite. 10 sacks while managing injuries show his grit. Film study reveals a player with refined technique, relentless motor, and the ability to win one-on-one matchups consistently. He can set the edge, apply varied pass rush moves, and maintain discipline against the run. Adding him to Dallas would elevate the entire defensive front, force quarterbacks into mistakes, and create game-changing opportunities. Historically, the Cowboys have always valued a disruptive defensive line. From DeMarcus Ware and Greg Ellis to Micah Parsons today, Crosby would be a natural continuation of that legacy, combining with interior linemen like Quinn and Williams to form a front 7 capable of dominating playoff-caliber offenses. Against teams like the Eagles, 49ers, or Chiefs, that front could be a game changer. This season has had its highs and lows. Dak Prescott's consistency, Malik Davis emerging as a key contributor, and some offensive sparks have kept fans optimistic. But defensively, generating consistent pressure has been a challenge. Crosby could provide that missing edge, the kind of difference maker who separates good defenses from great ones. Playoff contenders rely on players who can impose themselves when it matters most, and Crosby fits that mold perfectly. Compared to other elite edge rushers, Crosby may not lead the league in sacks, but his combination of consistency, run defense, and overall disruption is rare. Add in a contract that's trade-friendly, and suddenly he becomes one of the most valuable pass rushers available, an investment with huge potential upside for Dallas. So, what's next? Will the Raiders part ways with Crosby, or will they hold on, hoping to compete? And will Dallas sacrifice high draft capital to secure a player who could transform their defense? The potential payoff is massive. Parsons and Crosby together could form a front that terrifies quarterbacks and gives the Cowboys a legitimate edge in the postseason. Looking ahead, if Dallas pulls the trigger, it could influence their draft strategy, impact defensive schemes, and even shape the locker room dynamic. A player of Crosby's caliber can elevate not just performance, but mentality, complementing young stars like Parsons and reinforcing a winning culture. Fans will react, of course, some with excitement, others cautiously, but the signal is clear. Dallas is serious about contending. In conclusion, the Max Crosby trade scenario is one of the most compelling stories of the NFL offseason. It encapsulates Dallas's strategic ambition, willingness to make bold moves, and desire to compete at the highest level. Will it happen? Time will tell. But the implications are massive, and for Cowboys fans, it's a storyline worth following closely. Before we wrap up, take a second to hit that like button. It's a small click that keeps you connected to all the latest Dallas Cowboys news, and it really helps support the channel. Looking forward, the potential acquisition of Crosby isn't just about a single player, it's a statement. It's about shaping a defense that commands respect, boosting the team's confidence, and signaling to the league that Dallas is serious about contending. The coming weeks will tell us whether Jerry Jones and the front office see the value the rest of us do, or if Crosby remains in Vegas, continuing to disrupt offenses. Either way, Cowboys fans are in for an exciting ride. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would you trade a first-round pick for Max Crosby? Do you think he's worth the investment to transform Dallas's defensive front? Your opinions matter, and this is exactly the kind of conversation that fuels Cowboys Nation. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into the Max Crosby trade saga. In the NFL, every move counts, and whether Crosby ends up in Dallas or not, the Cowboys are always a team making waves. Keep supporting, keep believing, and we'll be right here breaking down every twist and turn. Until next time, this is your dedicated Cowboys analyst signing off. Stay safe, stay passionate, and as always, go Cowboys.